Thursday, March 26th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. There's a look at the Greensboro sky camera this morning, and notice some drizzle, some raindrops out there. We've had a pretty good batch of some showers rolling through parts of the area. I'll detail that for you on the radar coming up here in just a moment. Your temperatures right now, a lot of 50s across the Piedmont, then you hit 60s over toward I-95 and through the coastal plain down to the South Carolina, even the mountains, largely in the 50s this morning. Had a pretty nasty severe weather outbreak over the Plain States yesterday, and now this cold front still steadily marching our way. Now there's been a little disturbance. You can actually see it fairly well, this little counterclockwise swirl right in there, and as that's been lifting northeast, that's been generating these showers and thunderstorms across parts of the region this morning. So here's what the radar has generally looked like as we've gone through the past couple of hours, and there has been some pretty electric activity here, stretching, again, this is during the 5 a.m. hour, but through parts of Orange and Person counties, and then on down through the Raleigh area. Very electric complex of storms there has been moving from Clayton up toward Wendell, and again, the eastern side of the Raleigh metro. And this is all with that disturbance is passing through as we speak. Now, in the wake of that, really the bulk of today doesn't look too bad. More on that in just a second. Big massive rain from Ohio and Indiana, a little snow on the northwest edge of that. Still some thunderstorms involved through parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And again, yeah, it was a pretty nasty severe weather outbreak yesterday. This is the radar from 3 p.m. yesterday until 3 o'clock this morning. And you had a lot of severe weather issues, numerous tornado warnings, a lot of hail and some wind as well with this activity as yesterday unfolded. In fact, here are the storm reports from the Storm Prediction Center, a lot of them. And all modes of severe weather were involved yesterday in that area as well. And now today, that cold front marching into our region. But notice what happens. You see, as we get into the afternoon, I think a lot of these clouds break up. Mostly dry afternoon across most of the Carolinas. But then tonight, rain spreads back in. Probably a few thunderstorms involved too as this front actually begins to move in. But notice a lot of the precipitation is on the back side of this front. So that's not really a great setup at all for severe weather, but just maybe a few flashes of lightning involved with the rain as it moves back in tonight. Although I can't rule out a little bit of severe weather in the eastern parts of the Carolinas especially. There's your severe weather outlook today, just kind of just a general thunderstorm outlook with some marginal probabilities all the way from southern New Jersey through eastern North Carolina. Breezy conditions today. These south and southwesterly winds will really crank. Sustained winds 15 to 25 miles per hour with higher gusts in advance of this incoming front. And again, it's going to be a warm day. Look at these highs across the region for your Thursday. Warm and breezy afternoon weather on the way. Now tomorrow we start off the day with a lot of rain across the region as this low pressure traverses the region, but with time we try to see some clearing work in. So this could be a deal where tomorrow afternoon you have places like Mount Airy and Winston-Salem and Gastonia in some sunshine, but Raleigh and Monroe still socked in with some clouds. And so there could be a pretty big temperature spread across the region tomorrow. I'll show you that in more detail in just a minute, but there's the general idea with highs tomorrow, much cooler. And here we go with the weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, but certainly on the chilly side. High pressure moving on in. For any outdoor plans you have this weekend, the weather will not present any problems. You just might need the jackets out there. Not going to be bad at all. Here's your Saturday high temperatures across the region. And I am still expecting a freeze Saturday night into Sunday morning as this area of high pressure settles directly overhead. Now later Sunday we'll begin to get into more of a southwesterly flow and a warming trend begins. But again, we start off Sunday pretty cold. There's the GFS model depiction of lows on Sunday morning. All right, out of the higher resolution modeling, this is the GFS and this afternoon. You notice very little in the way of any precipitation through the afternoon hours, but and again, there's your warm day across the region too. But again, that changes tonight as that low pressure moves across the region. The rain spreads back in and continues into tomorrow morning. That's daybreak tomorrow. But then again, as we get toward late in the day tomorrow, that rain exits. And again, pretty interesting high temperature map tomorrow. You can see as the clearing tries to kick in to the western Carolinas, that is where you see the temperatures trying to climb up into the 50s tomorrow afternoon, where it's still in the 40s for highs the further east you go. So that'll kind of be the deal with highs tomorrow. GFS still insisting, and some of the other modeling too, and a little shot of some light precipitation tomorrow evening in southern North Carolina and northern South Carolina. That looks brief and rather insignificant in nature. And then Saturday morning, GFS still going with sub-freezing lows in much of the region. A lot of the other modeling is just above freezing Saturday morning, but then well below freezing Sunday morning. There's the setup for Saturday. Not a bad setup, just on the cool side. There's GFS highs, some low to mid 50s in the Charlotte area, mid to upper 40s across the Triad and Triangle regions. And then there you go, Sunday morning, high pressure moving directly overhead, lows well down into the 20s in many spots on Sunday morning. So it looks like a pretty hard freeze on the way Saturday night into Sunday morning, but then again later Sunday, high pressure shifts offshore, southwesterly flow kicking into gear. And then we get into Monday. I've gone ahead and mentioned a little chance of a shower on Monday. Some of the modeling has jumped on board with that scenario. It doesn't look like a heavy deal, but could be a few showers out there as we get into Monday. And then you see the Canadian. It doesn't have much there, but it does have a system. The European, especially the ensembles, do have some rain for Monday too. Later on in the week, GFS brings some rain in Wednesday. It's kind of alone in that solution. I have kept Wednesday dry, although I have brought some clouds in, but certainly by Thursday, looks like a good chance of some showers and maybe some thunderstorms. This is the GFS at daybreak Thursday and then out to early afternoon. Low pressure moving into the Virginias, and there is some instability to work with. There's your Cape values, not terrible this far out, so could certainly be a few thunderstorms involved in parts of the region if that depiction is correct by Thursday of next week. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.